TheDomotaku 先生
How are you doing, everyone? It's your boy, the Domotaku. We're here today with a yearly recap for 2025. I used to do a lot of yearly recaps on the channel, but those things take way too much editing and a lot of recording and going through a lot of my videos and streams, but that takes a lot of time, which I don't have anymore. But every single time the year comes to an end real soon, I always get reflective, look back at myself and look at how things have gone, what have I done, all that stuff, just get really reflective and kind of just think about it. And yeah, thankfully, you guys in the Discord helped me out with this little video. I asked you all in the Team Domotaku Discord about some topics and categories to think about, like memorable things from 2025. I think my first only ideas were like most memorable anime or video game in 2025, and then I couldn't come up with anything else because my brain was fried. But thankfully you guys all cooked up some good categories and topics for me to talk about, so let's go and reflect on 2025, and you guys can also reflect and ask yourselves these questions as well. So first one that I came up with, the most memorable anime of 2025 for me personally. So I'm gonna confess, y'all, I have not watched a lot of anime this year. I have an Annie list, link is in the description. You can check and verify all the anime and manga that I read. I might not update the manga section a lot from time to time, but I do update it from a good amount of times. And if you check my Annie list and see what the latest updated anime that I watched, you'll see that it's full of Detective Conan. So that's probably gonna be on the list for my most memorable anime for this year. I have not started Musume just yet. I have recently finished My Hero Academia, which is pretty good. My Hero series is done. I have not checked out Vigilantes. I might check it out, honestly, to see how it goes. But yeah, Detective Conan. Why is Detective Conan so present in my latest watch for this year? My fondest memories of Case Closed was my dad recording episodes at 5:30 a.m. in the morning for Toonami or Adult Swim or whatever it was at the time, and I was didn't know what the hell it was, but it was pretty cool. The content was pretty cool, at least. And then I have to also give this a big thanks to TMS Entertainment or TMS Channel. Basically, these guys, I think they have the license for Detective Conan, but they do weekly movie premieres or marathons every single Saturday. They show off a new Detective Conan movie every single Saturday, and that's pretty much something I tune into regularly because I'm at work and I can just watch on the side per se. It's been great, honestly, and it's been a good recap. And also I've seen some movies I haven't seen in a while, so yeah, you might see some of my latest anime I've watched on my anime list just being Detective Conan. I think I also rescored some of them, but yeah, I think there's 28 movies I think total right now, and I think they're going their 30th anniversary for Detective Conan. Dude, Detective Conan is my One Piece. Brotaku, he's caught up in One Piece in all the episodes. Me, I've seen a good amount of Detective Conan. I don't remember exactly how many episodes I've seen, but I've seen maybe 400 plus episodes, and he's still running around as a kid and whatnot. But yeah, they have 1,000 plus episodes probably ongoing still. But this is one of my longest running shows I've seen many episodes of. But I've seen all the movies now. I've got to check out the movies because the flame was reignited, I guess, for my appreciation of the series. And I was like, you know what? This series is pretty cool. And the movies I enjoy a lot because they're all standalone. And if you don't know Detective Conan, honestly, you can watch a movie and then they have the whole recap in the beginning, so they tell you the most important bits of who the hell are these people that I've never met before. But yeah, the Detective Conan series, Case Closed, is a pretty solid one. It takes me back mostly, but yeah, if you've never checked it out, then give it a shot. It's pretty cool. I really like the premise, and who knows if we'll end one of these times. But yeah, that's my most memorable anime of this year. Maybe I'll finally start Musume in 2026, and then that'll be my next one. Next topic was most memorable live action movie. Okay, we gave anime a chance, now we gotta give live action a chance. Okay, so this is kind of thing because for anime, we have an anime list or an Annie list or a MAL, so I have things to write down what I've seen and how many episodes and seasons and chapters I read and whatnot. For live action, I don't think there's one, an app or a site for that. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if there is one. I've never really kept track of things. But live action movies. What came out this year? Man, there's a lot of stuff that came out here. Sonic 3 doesn't count, I think, right? That was last year. Okay, well, I think that the thing that comes to the top of my head for live action movies this year, for all my superhero fans out there, if anyone's seen the Superman movie from James Gunn, that one was pretty much the standout movie to me that I can recall. I might have seen some stuff on Netflix or whatever, right? I guess K-pop Demon Hunter just happened this year too, huh? But I guess that's not live action. We're talking about live action now. But yeah, I'd give it to Superman. That's like one of the most memorable superhero movies or live action stuff I've seen in a while. Superman, I just really enjoyed him a lot more in this movie, and it made me like him a lot. I even also bought a shirt after watching the movie. It was pretty cool. Domotaku recommended. And like, aside from other superhero stuff, what else we had? We had I think Thunderbolts was this year, right? Yeah, Thunderbolts was Jurassic Park. There was what was the other one? Fantastic Four. Yeah, those ones are like, I didn't watch Jurassic Park, but I've seen Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts. They're all solid, but like, you know, I like Superman movie a lot more. It's pretty good. Highly recommend it. And we have Supergirl in the future coming soon. That'll be quite interesting. So now we're countering from live action movies to anime movies in particular. We're gonna give it own category because I have seen quite a few anime movies this year, actually. As I was looking back at my VODs, I was like, oh my goodness, I did watch this year. And the top one would probably be on my list would be the Hatsune Miku Colorful Stage, Project Sekai movie, the Miku Who Cannot Sing. I think this is the full title, right? I like this one as my most memorable because I watched this movie twice this year. I think I mentioned it before. Yeah, I watched it the first time because I was like strolling around my movie theater because my bookstore, my Barnes & Noble, is like right there too. And I saw that this movie was premiering, and I was like, whoa, there's a movie for Hatsune Miku? And I was like, you know, I'm not doing anything. I'll go check it out. And then I didn't know anything about the game or the show or the characters. I know Miku and some of her music and stuff like that. And I really enjoyed the series. Yeah, I liked it a lot. They gave me a free like code to redeem it in game. I made an account afterwards after watching the movie and, you know, redeemed the exclusive goods and whatnot. And then I, you know, learned about it some more, and I was like, you know, this is a pretty solid series. I see a lot of people really like Project Sekai, I believe it's called, right? And then after like watching it and then reviewing it live on stream, I was like, wow guys, this was a pretty solid series, a movie. I like it. And then I went to go watch it the second time because the first time I was like, I have no clue what to expect from this. And then I was like, okay, I really enjoyed it. And then the second time, you know, now I can like, you know, really eye in on the details and pay attention to like the, you know, quality, the music, the animation and everything else. And it was still a good time, I really admit. I was like so tempted to buy this on like Blu-ray and stuff because like it's just a solid movie, honestly. And then that was like in the beginning of the year. And then of course the latest big booms and movies in the end of 2025 were, of course, the Infinity Castle for Demon Slayer and then the Chainsaw Man Reze arc movie. I watched both of them in theaters. They were both pretty good. I didn't feel compelled to watch them more than once, but they were both pretty good. They were like the big boom at the end of the year. So yeah, then we'll just wait for, I don't know, Infinity Castle Part 2, pretty much. Chainsaw Man's very interesting because, like, you know, I watched the first 12 episodes of Chainsaw Man and I was like, okay, cool. This series is like, you know, pretty solid. I didn't go read the manga, unfortunately. I might be tempted to after this long wait, but yeah, like the movie was so interesting to me because I was like, okay, we're not getting a season 2, just getting a movie right after. I was like, okay, interesting. So now that the movie's done, I'm like, are we getting season 2 anytime soon, guys? But yeah, both are pretty solid. Some top 3 big hits, I guess, for this year for anime movies. And now next topic we have is going to be most memorable songs, the music and artists and whatnot, I guess. So considering you're talking about the Hatsune Miku Colorful Stage movie, I guess in terms of songs I've listened to this year, or groups, I guess, ever since I discovered the Project Sekai series, and I was like, okay, who's my favorite group out of like there's like 5 bands, I think, or groups in the show, in the game. My favorite top pick would be Night Court at 25 o'clock. I looked up most of their songs and stuff and gave them a listen, and I was like, you know what, this is my vibe. Like, if anyone knows Bang Dream, like, my favorite group in Bang Dream is Roselia. So, you know, the darker, more serious group, those I kind of vibe with those and their songs. You know, that's just me. But besides that, I think the other things I listen to, I'm like scrolling through my phone to see what else I have listened to. Oh, of course, this one. Well, I can't, like, you know, not ignore the whole big craze and new songs I've listened to for Uma Musume, Umadachi, I forget the rest. Uma Pyoi, yeah. We'll talk more about Uma Musume later, don't you worry about that. But you know, I had to mention that I've been listening to so much more Uma Musume and their songs than, you know, because of the big Uma boom going on. Aside from that, I think I've been listening to some more VTuber songs and music and stuff like that. I've been listening to a lot of Regloss and Flowglow. Like, these guys are pretty solid. I like it. Flowglow especially, just because of they're killing it with the rap and stuff. It's pretty nice. And you know, I just listen to some things from time to time. Video game soundtracks, the works. Oh man, there's some good tracks in like NIKKE and Blue Archive this year too. Good bops. We'll maybe talk about them more later as we go into the games. But yeah, that's kind of some things I've been listening to. All right, next topic. Let's see. I guess before we transition to games and stuff, we have the next topic being most memorable mangas, manhwas, or books, literature. I put them all in one thing because I do read more than just mangas, guys. But yeah, this one was kind of big because I was going through my anime list and seeing like, okay, what's the most like latest things I read? And I shit you not, you'll probably just see like a bunch of like Yuri titles. I've mentioned this before, guys, but like if a series is so damn long and there's like no signs of ending, then I'm just like, I get so dang like, you know, anxious, like in anticipation, waiting for the next chapter release, that I'm like dying. But like, it just so happens that there's a bunch of Yuri series that are like not that long running, maybe like 30 to 50 chapters ish, and they're just complete, able to binge, and it's a good time. What can I say? Even like my physical collection now, I haven't been collecting that much manga lately because I've been running out of space. But also the any books that I'm following now, like currently for English publishing, they're mostly Yuris. I think I've posted a few of them on the Discord sometimes before, but yeah, most of them are all Yuris, and they all end in like what, 6, 7-ish volumes, 10 volumes or less. If it's 10 volumes or less, then I'm just like, okay, maybe I can tolerate this. If it's anything after that, I learned my lesson. If it's like 15 volumes plus, I'm just like, no, I'm good. I don't have that big of a shelf. But yeah, in terms of reads, I've been really enjoying this year. I think one of them would be it's this series called My Bias Gets on the Last Train. This one in particular, because I've never really read stuff on webtoons before, and I saw this because most of my recommendations, I'm getting them from Twitter and stuff, and I saw this one. I thought that the art looked amazing. I was like, wow, where is this at? And then I learned on webtoons, and webtoons, they let you read things for pretty much for free with ads and stuff. And I was like, wow, that's so great. And then I think it's like only like 40 plus chapters or episodes or chapters, pretty much chapters on there right now. And it's a good read, I must admit. It's pretty great. The next title I have here is this title called My Wife is from 1,000 Years Ago. What's this about? I don't know. Maybe it's in the title somewhere. But yeah, this one is also a long-running show. This one, or not show. This is also a long-running series. This thing has like what, 300 plus episodes maybe, or chapters? I keep saying episodes. I've been reading this for like, you know, past 2025 and 2024, but I mostly mention it now because the progression in the latest chapters in the story are like mind-boggling to me to see how far we've gone within this series. So every time there's always a new chapter for this thing, I'm always so excited to see it. It's great. It's a great time. And then actual manga recommendations. This one I picked up because once again, my whole latest read stuff are full of Yuris. So when you read a bunch of Yuris and then they're like, since you like this, we'd recommend this. And then they recommended me this, which is called Idol X Idol Story, or Idol Story. This is the Hunter x Hunter freaking conundrum here. Do you guys say Hunter x Hunter or Hunter x Hunter? Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, Idol X Idol Story is a pretty interesting read, I must say. I feel cheated in this one because there's not that many big Yuri elements in this series from my knowledge yet. Maybe there'll be more in the future, but like basically the premise of this one is that you have this main character who is a retired idol, and then she actually gets compelled to try being an idol again through a competitive TV show where you have like a bunch of other participants, you know, competing, and I guess the top people will form a new group. So it's a very interesting premise. I like it, and you know, I feel like this would be a solid contender if it gets animated and you had some cool like dances and music and all that stuff. Be a solid story. I really like it. It's been great. And then I'm talking about this one because this one just got recently greenlit for an anime adaptation. So Yuri fans rejoice. I'm gonna recommend The Moon on a Rainy Night. This series is fantastic. Yuri, if you guys are looking for a solid Yuri, this one is great. And it got greenlit for an anime. I'm so watching it. I've actually read this series like way before, earlier before 2025. It's been ongoing, and the chapters are like a little bit a slower update, but like every time there's a new chapter, I'm just like, I can't help it, dude. It's the progression's so good. But yeah, this is my Yuri recommendation for my list this year. Domotaku approved. You're welcome. But yeah, that's my literature stuff for this year. I read quite a few things, and things are sometimes take, they're ongoing and they take time to upload or update. And I always just go back to my own shelf and just reread some good old series from back then. But yeah, that's my most memorable literature stuff, manga, manhwas, the works. Now let's see, next topic we have is most memorable anime figure buy. Okay, this one is pretty this one's pretty simple to think about because this is the year of the tariffs, my fellow US figure collectors. Yeah, so I think that hit like late 2025, and I have gotten a few figures during the whole tariff situation, so we'll talk about that. But yeah, pretty much I think my biggest figures from earlier in the year, I remember vividly. Of course, we have the Blue Archive figures. I got the Sorosaki Hina figure that got re-released, and that was the starting point, honestly, because after I got that one, it's like, this figure is so cool, and Hina's one of my favorite characters in the game, and we don't have a Kyoko figure yet. And then I got compelled to buy the Hina swimsuit figure. So the normal Hina figure was re-released, so I got that Ami Ami. And then I believe the swimsuit Hina figure was not a re-release, so I was like looking for items, and thankfully, good old Bai, someone's selling them in there pretty good. And then I think, what else? The other figure I got this year's pretty thing was the Rice Shower figure. Once again, the Uma Musume boom is coming back again ever since I got addicted to Uma Musume, and then I was like, Rice Shower is my favorite. And I was like, what kind of merch does Rice Shower have in terms of, online stuff? And like, she has figures, sold, take my money. It was donezo after that point. And I actually do have a certain figure that I have not shown on the channel because I am unfortunately lazy and procrastinate on editing videos. But I do have the Hu-Tao figure from Genshin Impact. Yes, this one is actually the last figure that I've gotten in 2025 because of the whole tariff situation. I didn't upload the video, so you will probably be finding this out for the first time now. But I had a pre-order for this on Ami Ami, and then the whole tariff thing happened. They couldn't ship to our country, so I had to cancel that. And then I looked online for other alternative sites to buy it from, because I was like, if there's gonna be one last figure I buy for my collection, it's gonna be the Hu-Tao figure. And I found it on Bai, thankfully. Once again, Bai coming in clutch, helping me out with the figure collecting. And I did believe I noticed that the shipping was way more on the higher end when I bought the figure, because it was like, not to think for the shipping, but it was a little bit higher than I noticed. So yeah, I got the figure and it's been great. And then that was like the last figure I have, technically. Now, spoilers, I technically still do have pre-orders on Ami Ami for 2026, and I believe they've been fixing and kind of rerouting or getting alternatives for shipping now for Ami Ami, because there's a whole like good amount of time when they would like they wouldn't cancel your orders, but they couldn't ship to the US. They couldn't use like DHL or things like that. But then they were saying like, we won't cancel your orders, we'll just hold them in our warehouses, which was, much appreciated from Ami Ami. But then like the wait, because if you have a lot of figures and orders built up and just waiting, and then when they like are finally able to ship out to you, you're gonna have a whole bunch of like, figures, and that's a lot of money to spend. So I canceled a lot of orders this year, unfortunately. But it was kind of in my favor because A, I have way too many figures, B, they're expensive, and C, I am running out of space. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with all the pre-orders I have for 2026. That's a good question. But yeah, those are the figures I have from this year. And let's see, next topic we have. All right, let's go. We're going into the video games, guys. Most memorable video games. Well, guys, we can just direct this to our lovely Steam replay that they've thankfully made for us this year. So this is a nice feature. I didn't know that Steam did this. I don't think they did this year, or not this year, last year, if I recall correctly, but this is pretty accurate for me in terms of playing games this year. So of course we see here Phasmophobia, Left 4 Dead, Ready or Not, Umusume, Cardfight Vanguard Dear Days 2. Interestingly, that Stellar Blade's not on here, but I guess I haven't played it as much more than these games for sure. I need to finish that. That's probably one of my to-do lists for 2026. But yeah, video games, you know, everything I play now is on Steam or my phone or my Switch, I guess technically. I only have a PS4. I didn't go past it for the PS5 or the Xbox. Is it One? Xbox One, whatever, right? And most of these days now, it's like all the games are on PC anyways. So yeah, I'm mostly just playing on here. I think the other games that I don't have on here is like Battlefield 6. I actually did play Halo with the boys once in a while sometimes this year. That wasn't, I guess, recorded on here for some reason. But yeah, most of these games are games with the boys for sure. And I guess we can transition to the next topic, would be most memorable moment with Domo and the boys, or Domo and the crew, depending, you know. That's what I call when I play with my friends online and stuff. Definitely Phasmophobia was like a big thing for me, because I have like, what was that, 23% on the Steam replay, but I have the most hours. I have all the achievements in that game. I was the Phasmo guy, guys. I learned all the tricks and the tips. I was the veteran. I was the guy, the main lead guy. I am Prestige 3 in this game. Yeah, I've played this game so much, and like, yeah, I'm pretty much like, you know, a veteran or an expert, kind of expert. I'm not like higher end expert, but like I'm like experienced, right? Yeah. But then I think the award would go to, honestly, the Left 4 Dead series, because we spent so much good time in Left 4 Dead, and I think it's just a testament to Left 4 Dead being like a solid game to come back to, even after like years or, you know, how many times later. Because, you know, we've played the base game before, but then when we came back and played Left 4 Dead 2 with the boys, we spent so much time on the modding scene, and I've never actually modded the game before with this. This is my first time, but yeah, like it was so damn heavy. We got all the anime mods, all the anime weapons, all the skins and everything. You know, we would spend like hours just downloading mods and then testing them out, then actually like playing. Like there would be a night where it's like, hey guys, do you want to play Left 4 Dead tonight? And I was like, yeah, let's go play. And then we'd actually just be like downloading mods and testing them out, and then we would be like too late because we spent like 2+ hours like downloading and trying out mods, and they're like, oh, okay guys, I guess we'll play tomorrow. But yeah, also the fact that I did the the Left 4 Dead series on Halloween, like special, I uploaded a lot of like 7-8 videos for the week of Halloween. Little gameplay of me and my boys playing Left 4 Dead. It was pretty good. Those are good times. Yeah, we kind of slowed down in Left 4 Dead because we've played all the games, and then we did the we did the campaigns all expert mostly, and then we were like looking for new things. There's still more mods to do, honestly, in that game. We could always come back to it for sure, but we tried out the nightmare mods, and those were like a nice new fresh thing for Left 4 Dead. But yeah, it's always sitting there. It'll always come back for some more things in the future, who knows. But let's see here. Next topic we'll have is, yes, most memorable visual novel, guys. Oh my goodness, visual novel, what is that? So yeah, believe it or not, I actually have read a visual novel in this year, guys. It's called Cardfight Vanguard Dear Days 2. I'm just kidding. I mean, technically it is a visual novel. Like the main game is the card game, but then the story element is all visual novel format. But if you don't count that, then technically I have also read one visual novel this year, and this is on my Steam library because I was like, I remember this vividly. There was like one night, right? I had all the time in the world, and I was like trying to clear up space because I probably had to update like one of my freaking gacha games, either be NIKKE or WUWA or Genshin. Those things take so much space. But then yeah, I was trying to make up space or clear out things, and I was like looking through my Steam libraries, and I saw this game that I have downloaded, and I was like, oh, I remember buying this visual novel for, and you know, it's just sitting there. Maybe I could like just play it real quick and then delete it, uninstall it, because I bought this thing particularly because it's not long. It's like kind of short, like maybe like, you know, not like 20+ hours long or having 5+ multiple endings. No, I think it only has like 2 endings. This game only costs $10 on the Steam store, and supposedly from online reviews, there's like shorts, like not like less than 5-10ish hours, I think, right? And yeah, I booted it up, played it, read it, and it was the most like locked in, heavily invested night of my life. I was so damn invested with this story. It's called this, I should have mentioned it before, but the visual novel is called a Love Ribbon. So once again, it's a Yuri title. Whoa, surprise. Yeah, so yeah, okay, so yeah, I got this. I don't remember when I got this game, honestly, but yeah, I got it. It's cheap. It's $10. It's short, not long, no multiple endings, and it's a Yuri. So I was like, listen, it checked off 3 boxes. It's it seems all right to me. But yeah, this night I so remember vividly. I was so locked in trying to read this visual novel, and I actually got both of the endings in 5 hours. I believe my playtime in this game is 5 hours, and I got both endings. It was a pretty good read. Very heavily invested. And if you guys are curious, there is a cultured patch you can download. Yes, there is. So yeah, this is the visual novel the one visual novel I played and read this year. I still have a few in my Steam library, and I would definitely want to give them a shot for sure. It's just been like, take some time. Like if it's a long visual novel with like 5+ multiple endings or whatever, like 5 alternate routes or everything, then like it just takes so dang long. But it's like all worth it in the end. This one only is like 2. But yeah, now that we've done visual novels, we have the next topic we got is going to be mobile game. All right, the most memorable mobile game of the year. We'll definitely go into more deeper into the games that I play on the channel for sure, like NIKKE, Blue Archive, Star Rail, all that stuff. But if I had to name one memorable game from this year of 2025, I've mentioned it before already, but you know what time it is, guys. It's Umedachi, Sukidachi, Umapyoi. It's Umusume time again. So yeah, this game came out like middle of the year, 2025, I believe. Dude, this game, like the impact this game had on its release was just like so mind-boggling, and the influence it's had over like just in general is so big. Because this series, like Umusume, I've known about it in the anime sphere. You have your anime horse girl waifus, and then you have the anime ship girl waifus, right? So I've known about it, but now I was like, horse racing? Anime girls is horse racing? I was like, I don't know about that. But then the game came out on global, everyone freaking played it, and the boom was huge, and I was like, I'll give it a shot. I've never seen this, I've seen the gameplay, but then like, I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and I got into it, and I got so damn heavily into it. And of course, there's so much multimedia for this franchise as well, with the animes and everything. You have songs, anime, the gameplay is pretty great and repetitive. It's just big. It's just Umusume. And then now I have my favorite Rice Shower leading the charge for my favorite Umusume, and I will gladly get anything that's Rice Shower now. So yeah, this mobile game it's just big. Honestly, like it's so like I'm astonished at how much influence and how much impact it had in just everyone, pretty much. Even now, like I would like be down to go to like, if I ever go to Japan, I'll go like to a race track or a horse racing thing. Then I'll be like, I'll participate. I want to see what it's about. It's just like that. They just revitalize the entire sport, and then you see like the support for all the fans in the community, like supporting the retired race horses and everything. Like it's so like crazy just thinking about this series. I was like, wow, there's like a lot to this series, and also just testament to like the story and the characters, because they're all based off real life horses, and they kind of gave them like character arcs and everything, so they're all like immortalized in this game. And I'm just like, bro, this is like a gold mine, dude. It's like, holy moly, this series is like, I understand now, guys. Like shit, this franchise is like just so big, so good. And now you have me being a fellow Torena as well, and Rice Shower #1, guys. But we love all the Umas. But yeah, biggest impact of mobile game, Uma Musume. Oh yeah, technically also won game of the year, right? In the Game Awards. So yeah, that's it. It won it for a reason, guys. What can we say? All right, now we're on the topic of games. We have a special category of most memorable dropped games, guys. I dropped a game, multiple games, 3 in fact, and then 1's coming back because of shenanigans. So yeah, I kind of like forgot about these games, and like if I could undo one thing in this year, it would probably be like this game in particular. But yeah, I remember the time I used to play Madoka Magica Excedra. Oh my goodness, bro. Like, why did I spend so much time in this game, bro? But I mean, like, it's like a solid game, but like it's a Madoka Magica, but then Honkai Star Rail gameplay, and then the Steam client got delayed for so long. It's now on Steam, I believe now. But then like this game is just like it's all right. But then I think the biggest thing with this game would probably be the events and like the the event stories with the character interactions and everything, because that's all I've seen Madoka and I've seen the anime mostly and all the movies. I think like was it 30 movies, right? They have a fourth one coming out soon, right? So like I knew what happened to Madoka, but then I was playing this game and I was like, it's just going through the story. So I was like, I know what happens in the story technically. So anything that was new in the game would just be like the event stories, which are a fun time too. But then I just kind of like, I'm not that huge of a Madoka fan, so yeah, I stopped playing it eventually, and I spent way too much time in that game. I still have my account, technically, it's all linked and everything, but yeah, I spent way so much time in that game. And then the second game we have is gonna be Persona 5, The Phantom X. Wowzers. Ah, man, I was like, yeah, I could probably get into this game. This game, I mean, it's a good game, or I mean, like, I would like to say that it's a solid game for sure. It's a literal Persona game on your phone, but then after like the first I think I did like 2 streams of this game, I thought about it, right? Like from a Persona perspective, right? One of my biggest things that I might have mentioned on stream too before, but one of my biggest like enjoyments of the Persona games is that there is an actual ending, right? There is an end to the game. Like things will not last forever. Reality strikes. There is an end to the game somewhere down the line. And with Persona 5 Phantom X, like, it's to send the Persona 5 universe. It's a whole ass Persona game on your phone, and style and everything is pretty sick. It's like, there's a lot of potential for it, but then I thought about it. I was like, I'm gonna be playing this game, and like, the only thing I really wanted to do in this game was like check out the main story and like the actual main plot. But then like this game's gonna be running on for who knows how long. I'm not caught up in the story right now, but like that would be my thing with this game, because I'm just gonna keep playing this game for who knows how long until it ends. When it eventually has an ending, maybe then I'll come back to it. But yeah, I would definitely be intrigued with the main storyline plot, because it's a Persona 5 title. It's got the Persona 5 universe in it, so it's definitely a solid game. But as like a Persona game though, you're trying to play it, and I'm trying to like play and get to the end and see how things unfold. Who knows when that's gonna happen. I don't know if I'd recommend this as like an actual first entry to Persona. It's a cool title for sure. It's free technically, so you can even play this on the phone, and you don't need a PS5 or Xbox, whatever, or a PC to play this game. You can just play on your phone. But I would probably just recommend an actual Persona game, honestly, because that way you can play a game to its full completion, and then after that, maybe you can play P5X. Honestly, who knows? I could still come back to it in the future. Who never knows? But yeah, that's 2 of the biggest dropped games that I've dropped this year, and then the third one being the one that I'm gonna come back to, unfortunately, because of waifus, is Zenless Zone Zero ZZZ. So man, I remember this freaking game. Like in this game, I progressed this game to an amount where I didn't complete chapter 2, right? That's Bellabog. I didn't complete. That's how far I am, guys. Like my account has so much like things in it, like so much characters. I have fuck, who's the last person I played for on stream? Was it Yishuan? I forget her name. But I'm like, there's a lot of characters on my account. A lot of too many swipes to say. But like I never progressed into the story, so I couldn't unlock like the areas to level up your characters like fully level like 90 or 80 or whatever the max level is. So I'm just been stuck there doing whatever, and it was just like, so sitting there, and then like I was like, I could just probably let this game go. And then eventually they got to like 2.0, and then they released the tease a new character, and I saw her character, I'm just like, wait, I kind of like her. I kind of like her. Her first introduction to her was like she learns that she has like Kohai or a junior, and then she gets all like excited. I'm just like, wait a minute, I'm kind of liking this. So yeah, what's her name? Yexin Guang, I believe. She's coming out like this week as I'm recording this, and I gotta re-download the game. Well, I mean, I re-downloaded the game like on my phone, so I could like, you know, log in, do dailies again, and farm up some gems and whatever, the polychromes, I believe. But yeah, I gotta download on my PC. Then we'll see how my luck goes, because another thing with this game compared to the other two Hoyo games is that I've had so much bad luck in this game. My 50-50 losses, bro. Freaking Nekomatas and Graces, bro. I swear to gosh, if I come back to this game and I get spooked for trying to pull for Yingguang, get another Grace or Nekomata, you don't like to see Domo when he's angry. But yeah, that's my most memorable dropped games this year, and then we have one coming back, so stay tuned and subscribe for when we pull for Yexin Guang. Next topic we have is going to be, oh my goodness, best cosplay fit, I guess. Okay, this is a stupid thing I came up with myself, because technically speaking, I have, I don't know, one cosplay fit. So if you guys have been around the channel for some time now, you know that I have 3 fits, or three clothings, I guess I can change into, and I use sometimes on stream. The first one being the game development department jacket from Blue Archive, Alice, and is Alice's jacket, I believe, right? Yeah, that's the one that she wears. So it's that one first, and then I eventually got the sensei fit and what was it called? And then the other one was like a Trailblazer jacket from Honkai Star Rail. But I must say the most memorable fit is definitely going to be the sensei fit, because that one, like, I remember that vividly. Was that this year? I don't remember if that was this year, but I literally made this fit because I got invited to a wedding from a friend from high school, and I was like, shit, I need a suit. And I was like, wait a minute, might as well buy this opportunity to create the sensei fit and use that. So you get a gray suit, dress shirt, the tie, dress, gray dress pants, bada bing bada. Oh, I also had to make the badge, the chalet badge. Like, I had to just like print it out and then buy a badge holder thing on Amazon. Bada bing bada boom, you got Domotaku sensei in the flesh. And yeah, that was one of the most worth things to buy and budget as cosplays to make. So yeah, that's my most memorable thing. I was like, you know, thinking about it now, I'm like a little bit proud of myself that I was able to like, oh yes, I made, like, this is like, if I ever need to like cosplay as anything, or like an anime convention or something, I got it down. I got this. So yeah, the sensei fit is always just clearly like the most memorable thing, and it will. I haven't used it lately. I've been using the PNG tuber from quite some time, but you know, it's still there. It exists. It's just very thing to just change into like a dress or like a suit and everything, just for like a quick 1 hour, 2 hour stream. And yeah, so you know, it's still there though if I ever need it for anything. But yeah, that's the most memorable cosplay fit from your boy. Most memorable drawing. Okay, so yes, as you all know, I am what I would call probably an artiste. So yeah, you know, my thumbnails, well, most of the thumbnails are all like in-game assets, but of course I draw my OC. I use them for the thumbnails. I have the Domodoro, got me in the Padoru and everything. But I've drawn a few things. I've drawn a lot of more like stuff this year, I guess, in terms of like, because I have my PNG tuber and I had to change his clothes from time to time, because you can't have just one set of clothes, guys. What is it, anime? Yeah, I changed. I gave him the Trailblazer fit. I gave him the Rover jacket. I gave him just like normal hoodie, things like wear in IRL, that kind of stuff. And then I made a bunch of gifts this year. That was pretty fun. The most memorable drawing would definitely be the lonely. I feel so lonely. Dude, that shit was like the jam. That was the meme when that shit came out for Evernight, and then everyone started doing it with other characters or their OCs. I was like, I have to do it. Like, I had to try to attempt to recreate this, but then, you know, I can draw, but animating was the whole different story. But then thankfully my app that I use, the Procreate, lets you see all the frames and everything and see how much there is in there. It was only like, what, I think 10 frames. So I was like hard at work trying to do all these 10 frames and make the animation look good, and it turned out great. And it's, after that I was like so overconfident that I was like, okay, if I can do the lonely, I could do the kudu 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 kudu, and then I also did the padoru, and then I think I also did the domodoro running. yeah, there's just been great stuff, and I've made some things. Even the latest one I did was the retouch on my whatchamacallit, my Padoru avatar, like my little OC with the chibi and the Nero Padoru Santa Claus fit. That drawing was redone, and like surprisingly the change from, I believe, I forget how long the old one was, but the retouch on that was nice. I really like that a lot for myself. You know, if you guys are thinking about art or learning to draw and stuff like that, it's all practice, guys. Practice and time, and it will definitely improve over time. I can definitely say that from looking at my old ass drawings and cringing about them. But yeah, that's my most memorable drawing of the year, the lonely. Next category we have is going to be the most memorable YouTube short. Oh my goodness, I must say, I think this year in particular, I have uploaded way more YouTube shorts. I think it's just it's a cool feature with the in-app for YouTube, like from my phone and the mobile app for YouTube, and I can just like go to like a video or stream of mine, and then there's like an option to just edit into a short. So it takes the whatever time I'm in and the video I'm watching, and then we'll just, you know, make a 15-30 second ass clip, and you can, like, you know, edit it, move it, add text and stuff, and it's perfect. It's great when it works. Yeah, it's you know, beats having to go clip it from, I don't know, like recording, whatever, then put it in editing software in your PC, and then, you know, making the aspect ratio verticals like what, 920, 1080, 920, right? And yeah, because thankfully it's all built in the YouTube app, I can just, you know, watch my own videos on my phone, clip the 15 to 30 second bits, and then add text to it. Unfortunately, that's pretty simple editing, but you know, it's still there. And yeah, I uploaded so many shorts this year, and it's been a great time, honestly. My most memorable short though would probably have to be the short where I have my most used Honkai Star Rail characters for the year, I believe. Because that one I actually did not edit in the mobile phone app. I had to actually get the clip, cut things up, and then, you know, add sound effects and all that stuff. That was a little bit more extra work, but it turned out great, and it was just a great time into the, you know, just seeing my most used character of January, Adventurine, February, Adventurine, March, Adventurine. You know, it's very telling what the meta was back in those days. Yeah, so that's my most memorable YouTube short. And then the most memorable YouTube stream. Okay, so this one was a little surprising because I was like going through my stream, right? Listen, guys, 95% of my channel is literally me playing freaking gacha games and pulling or reacting to special program live streams or something like that. I'm just like going through my channel and seeing what's like, you know, what have I done this year? I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's all just video games and stuff. But then I went to the earlier in the year and I was like, oh wait, we did do the stream this year with the video game 3x3s. I was like, oh wow, we did do that. I completely forgot about this one. So yeah, that one was a good time though. Always, oh, those things are always a good time. Any like video or stream where I can have Team Domotaku in the community, you know, a little feedback and stuff like that, a little interaction, get to know more about your guys' taste and everything. We've seen your anime taste, we've seen your video game taste, and what's in the next year, maybe we'll look at like what, mangas or manhwas or literature books, I guess, and then we can maybe do visual novels. I don't know, that was an idea one of my boys thought up with. But that would have to assume you've read or, you know, read 9+ visual novels or mangas and manhwas and etc. Unless we condense them all in one. That might be an idea, actually. Hold up, I'm cooking ideas for 2026, guys. But yeah, the video game 3x3 stream was always a great time, and, you know, much appreciation for video games as well. Next up we have is going to be most memorable YouTube thumbnail. Okay, this one will be a little bit similar to this aspect because once again I was like, okay, thumbnail, but then literally all my like 95% of my channel is video games, and 95% of them are going to be me just using in-game assets and then throwing myself on the picture or the title of the game in there, and then like that's pretty much it. And then the only unique thumbnail that I saw scrolling through my own thing was the thumbnail I made of me sitting in my room, and like, or my OC at least, and then just like that's like the thumbnail I use for like my just chilling streams, or just, you know, doing whatever, nothing particularly planned. So yeah, that's the one that I have mostly just because I put the most work in that thumbnail, I guess. Like, yeah, I had to literally like take a picture with my phone, like where my webcam would be, and I had to go, you know, just draw over my whole room, all that's there. You could see everything, see the plushies in the back, you would see the bookshelf if my big head was not in the way. You see my wall scrolls and everything, the posters, it's all a good thing. And now I just use that drawing for anything filler, which is great. So yeah, that's my most memorable thumbnail. Let me know if you guys like a certain other thumbnail or something. But next moment we have is going to be most memorable surprises. Okay, so this one of my boys were saying like surprises could be either bad or good, and I guess if I had to think about surprises for this year, I think one of them would be, well, the good one would be I went to my first concert this year, and that was for Linkin Park. Like, I think Rotaku and my fam was just like, hey, are you free on this day? Like, you know, you want to attend a Linkin Park concert? For anyone who doesn't know Linkin Park, that was my jam when I was a little teen normie back in the day before I was being an otaku and stuff. And I was like, shit, yeah, you know, it's good time. And I went to the concert. It was very loud because it's my first time going. I was like, I'm not sure what to expect for how loud it would be for my ears to like burst and everything. But it was a good time. And, you know, I was like, oh man, these brings me back in the days. And yeah, it was a good time. First time doing a concert. I've always expected that if I ever attended a concert in like IRL, it would definitely be like Vocaloid or some kind of VTuber thing one of these days, or like, you know, an artist I actually listen to. But it turned out to be Linkin Park, but it's a good time still. I also bought a shirt and everything. It was great. But yeah, you know, one of these days, it is one of my bucket lists. Like, I want to one day just attend Vocaloid, or most likely it's going to be like a Hall Live concert thing in real life, because that'd be cool. Honestly, that'd be really cool to do one time. One of these days, just gotta save up money and all that stuff, and hopefully the timing is right and all that stuff. But yeah, that's like one thing on my bucket list for sure. But yeah, that's one of the good surprises. The worst surprise this year I have to think about is the situation with my freaking internet connection and crap. So I'll try and illustrate this, I guess. But basically, before 2025, my method of my connection for my PC and my streaming, right? I had this like Wi-Fi USB like little connector thing that would just do everything wireless. I was not a wired Ethernet cable just yet, and that lasted me a good amount of time. Yeah, until things happened, I guess. Like it was like inconsistent, and you know, just didn't work as much. Yeah, like I was just surprised that like I lasted this long with like, you know, just this normal wireless connection, not like directly plugged in. So then eventually, afterwards, I got this like it's like this device thing where you get to plug it into the wall outlet, and then in the bottom of this object you would have an Ethernet cord going to your router, and then you would have a matching pair where you have another thing plugged into an outlet, and then that one has the Ethernet cord going into your PC, or my PC at least, and that would technically count as being directly plugged in via Ethernet. I was like, oh my goodness, I just big brained this shit. Like, I didn't know this kind of thing exists. You can just Ethernet to a wall outlet, and then Ethernet or wall outlet to Ethernet into your PC, and it's directly you know, it counts as wired, and the connection was actually consistent and better. And I was like, okay, this is the shit, man. We've solved it now. It's great. We have direct Ethernet cable connection. And then stream issues happened, and it was just like a thing. This all started with the freaking Proi, bro. Oh my goodness. That moment. We'll talk about it more, that moment for sure. But yeah, so, you know, it worked for some time, a little bit, and then there would just be more issues again, right? So yeah, I think this next thing I did was I bought a advanced version of the item. I think it's called like a freaking, like, I forgot the brand name, but yeah, basically you have like, you know, you have your base version, right? Then you have the Pro Maxes or whatever, right? So I bought an upgraded version of that thing, trying to see if that would fix my connection, and it did not. It worked for a little bit, and then once again the connection issues still happened. So I was like tossing and turning this whole year for like trying to figure out how to solve these issues, because how can I be a streamer when the freaking thing just lags all the time, or you start streaming and then the lag kills your stream, and then it's just like a 10-minute stream or whatever. It was just like I was like so panicking of it, because I was like, oh my goodness, like, am I gonna have to like just like stop streaming stuff? Like, I'm gonna have to like go resort to like just like recording gameplay and editing them on my computer. I was like, oh gosh, no. I was like so like conflicted to see how I could solve this issue. Eventually what happened was, no, after that, there's more to this, right? So after my two like wall outlet Ethernet cable things stopped working, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go plan B. And I literally bought 100-foot Cat 8 Ethernet cable on Amazon and directly wired my shit to the thing. And it worked. It technically worked, because technically with the previous method, right, you have your Ethernet router, Ethernet to the wall outlet, and then wall outlet to Ethernet to your PC. So technically there's, you know, it's not a direct line per se. It is Ethernet, right? But there's not like a one-to-one direction, kind of going from A to B to C to D, right? Versus A to D or A to B, right? So yeah, the 100-foot Ethernet cable worked like a charm. It was great. And then things still happen from time to time, actually, still. So I was like, oh my goodness. So you're telling me the 100-foot Ethernet cable was not, like, you know, didn't work? So I'm like, I wasn't sure what the issue was. But then it led to me like researching shit about routers and being able to like connect a third-party router and use that as the primary router from our other router that we have currently. And it led me through a lot of research and a lot of investigating, but that's what I did eventually. I ended up buying a third-party router, and I was able to hook it up to our thing and use it's like some kind of mode where it lets me use this third-party router I bought, which is technically better per se, right? And use that as the primary router, and I have that now being directly linked to Ethernet via, and there's some issues from time to time still, but it's better. So I would say like this issue is like 95% solved. So yeah, that was the whole surprising streaming issue thing I had this year. I was so thing with it, honestly. It's so mind-boggling thinking about how I used to just use a wireless connection to stream, and it lasted for a good amount of time until it didn't. But yeah, that's one of the other surprising things that happened this year. So that's about the only other surprising thing that I can think of this year. Let's go over to the big gaming thing. So we're now going to go into memorable moments from each of my games that I play on the channel, because they've been ongoing for so damn long. So we'll just, you know, look back into them directly, each one. So first one, Honkai Star Rail memorable moments. Okay, I have here my notes here. The first thing in my notes, this topic, is getting Blade. Yeah, we got Blade during the Dahlia pulls. I was like so livid. I was like, wow, this is the first time I'm happy to lose a 50-50. And thinking about it, actually, yeah, the system that they added for that was just introduced this year, I believe, right? Because I don't remember which update it was exactly, but that happened this year where they introduced, you know, Sela and Fushuan and Blade into the perma pool, so you can lose 50-50s to them. And also like the buffs, I believe the buffs were this year as well for Silver Wolf and Kafka and Jingliu and Blade. So yeah, all that happened this year, which was kind of, wow, surprising. Yeah, but you know, we got Blade, he's chilling. We have all Celadon Hunters now, but now he has a freaking alt coming out in Planet Arcadia. So yep, who knew? So then next topic, our next one is first E6 character. Oh, my favorite, Cyrene, bro. Dude, Amphorius, man, Amphorius, it still lives, it lives rent-free in my head, bro. But also, like, I can't, like, believe, like, I never thought, because, like, listen, I've C6'd one character in my lifetime, and that's Hu-Tao from Genshin Impact. And I was like, you know, it was good and all, but I got incredibly lucky, and I was able, like, you know, affordable at the time. And I was like, okay, do I expect myself to ever do this again in the future? I highly doubt it, unless I really, really like this person. But with Cyrene, I think initially we got her at E2 on stream, and then I was doing some shenanigans off stream because I think I remember, yeah, because it started when I was trying to stream NIKKE stuff, but then I had the internet connection issues happening. So I was like, you know, okay, guys, like I gotta restart the internet. And then while I'm waiting for the internet to restart, I'm just on my phone fucking around, pulling on the banner because, you know, what would happen, right? And then I think that was the catalyst for me getting E3. And then eventually I was like, fuck, I'm like halfway through. And then we did the well, I think this is after we did the Amphorius storyline too. So yeah, that happened, we did that, and then we finished Amphorius, and I was like, okay guys, I'm like kind of locked in now. Cyrene is worthy to E6, and then that happened eventually, and then it was a glorious moment. My first E6 in this game. She will forever be E6. Cyrene will forever be missed, bro. But yeah, that's that one. That's quite a memorable moment. The first ever E6 character in Star Rail. I thought maybe Firefly. I was thinking maybe Acheron, badass, but no, Cyrene. I'll take Cyrene. Next bullet point I have for Star Rail moments is going to be the Star Rail Live. Oh my gosh, yeah, I kind of forgot that the Star Rail Live happened this year too. Actually, that was amazing, dude. It's always a good time. And now next year, 2026. Oh my gosh, guys, when they do Star Rail Live 2026, and then we have Proi happen on the concert, bro, it's over. It's donezo. It's Dome over. All right, that's gonna be the most hypest thing. And then we have, of course, have all the Cyrene tracks and all of the Amphorius tracks, and oh, well, we probably would have Planet Arcadia by then, right? Maybe like the first update, actually. So yeah, Star Rail Live, great time for sure. Speaking of Proi, oh my goodness, there's like multitude layers of the Proi moment that happened in Star Rail. Number one, when I first heard it, I was like, oh, it's badass and shit. But then that's also the first time the stream issues happened, and I was like doing the boss battle live on stream, and then the freaking stream lagged, and it was so bad that it just freaking ended the stream, even though my connect, like, you know, the whole internet connection was still there. And I was so pissed at that moment, honestly. I was so upset. I was like, no, dude, we were just getting into the boss battle and the epic hype of Proi playing, and then stream lagged and ended the stream. I was so upset. That was when I started researching. I was like, okay, how the frick do I fix my internet issues? That was the spiraling moment this year. Oh, that shit was something. But now we fixed it, kind of 95% of the way, I'd say. And then the last bullet point I have here for Star Rail is just the entirety of Amphorius. I have here my notes here. It says, literally, first stream of 2025 was me reacting to the 3.0 special program, which I had to verify, actually. I was like, wait, seriously? My first stream of 2025 was me reacting to the Amphorius stream, the program? And it got me thinking. I was like, oh my gosh, Amphorius took the entirety of 2025. Technically, we're in 3.8 right now with the Pentaconi epilogue, but like, we started Amphorius and finished Amphorius in 2025. That just goes to show how freaking long the updates were, and also how long the story was for this megalith of a story. Good times. But yeah, Amphorius will always forever be remembered. See you tomorrow, Amphorius. So that's my most memorable Star Rail moments from the looks of it. Now we're going on to NIKKE. Okay, so this might be a little bit of recency bias, but like with NIKKE, right? Most of the, well, there's some big events lately that we just had. Of course, we had the big ass Goddess Fall event, and then we had the Terminus ticket event, dude. The freaking emotional damage the last few months of 2025. Why shift up? But yeah, aside from that, we also had like cool moments like, oh man, Footstep Walk Run was literally the start of 2025, wasn't it? Shit, that was so badass. And then of course we also had Little Mermaid and the Unbreakable Spear. That one was such a good event as well. And then we had the summer event. Boom the Ghost was great. Rapid Development, Doro, it was all great. And also, of course, the biggest thing would be the collab with Stellar Blade. We did have the collab with Resident Evil this year as well, but I think the collab with Stellar Blade was just great. It was just perfect. And then of course it all spiraled down to me also playing the base game of Stellar Blade, and you know, getting that for the Scarlet skin and also playing that as well. So very great moments in NIKKE in general. And also of course you had the main campaign. There's a lot of developments in the main campaign and stuff. So NIKKE, great. Just like emotionally traumatizing us at the very last moments of the year. And then this is after we watched the live stream, the New Year's live stream, so we know that the next update is going to be the Arc Guardian event story with the new Snow White. And I'm just like, oh, brother, what is going on, bro? Why are they doing this to us? Shift up. Never trusting you every Christmas ever again, dude. But yeah, I actually have another tab here for NIKKE. It looks like we have the most memorable NIKKE OST, and oh my gosh, I completely forgot about this. I guess this is like a real life thing too, but I have here listed, it says Hurricanes. Of course, that's the anniversary theme, but I actually just remembered that I listened to this song so much when I was studying for my exam, and I completely forgot that I took that exam this year. Oh my gosh. So yeah, there's this exam that I was studying for. It was like right as the week of the 3rd anniversary, right? Or I guess, was it after Halloween? I think it was after Halloween too, around that time, pretty much. It was a lot of crunch time, and literally, like, the thing that helped me the most was just jamming out to Hurricane, because this song is so damn badass and so empowering that I listened to it so much. I listened to it to the car ride as I was going to my exam like location, right? This song like helped me out so much this year. I really love Hurricanes. Thank you once again, Shift Up and the Cosmo and the artists and everything. This song is just great. All the soundtrack in NIKKE is just like fantastic. Check it out yourselves, guys. But yeah, Hurricanes was my jam this year. I will give props to that. I think it helped me out with my studies as well. And then next game we have here is going to be most memorable Genshin moments. Now, I haven't streamed that much Genshin this year, guys. I'll be real. I know that for a fact. But I think some streams I've done this year would be like just polls, I guess, because I pulled for Skirk. Skirk came out this year. Escoffier came out this year. But the number one thing I have here in all caps is Hu Tao Lantern, right? That was this year, wasn't it? This was still back in the era of the VA strike too. So I actually played this in JP, but it was a good time. Like, this is like the way to get me to come back to Genshin Impact. It's like, give me a Hu Tao focused lantern, right? And Hu Tao development, say no more. I'm in it. I'm gonna download the JP voices though, because it's probably, you know, silent in English. But yeah, that was a good event. I really enjoyed it a lot, and we got a skin for Hu Tao, so well worth it, honestly. But yeah, that's probably the most highlightable Genshin Impact moment for me this year. Let me know if you guys, unfortunately I'm not caught up with Nodcry and all that stuff, so there'd probably be, you know, up-to-date players would probably be saying that as well. But I still need to finish Natlin, and I will, you know, one of these days I do want to go back to it, honestly. I probably wouldn't want to invest too much in this game in terms of polling characters maybe in the future, because like I already got a C6 Hu Tao, so I'm good. What else we have? Next game we have, okay, Fate. Most memorable Fate moments. Oh, come on, guys. Like, what's the biggest thing that happened in Fate this year? It's the Fate Honkai Star Rail collab. Fate Star Rail. I actually forgot about the collab. I was about to say FGO moments, but I was like, wait, Fate. I was like, wait, Fate Star Rail. I was like, wait, that did happen. I did mention it in the freaking Star Rail bit. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I guess we'll talk about this part. But yeah, Star Rail in Fate was fantastic. The characters are great. The event, much more to be desired, unfortunately. And the whatchamacallit, that's about it for now. They're still in game, I think, right? But they're gonna leave, I believe, when Planet Cardia happens. So yeah, guys, if you guys are interested in Fate and you like Star Rail, then this is your last chance. Fate X Star Rail until whenever we get it back. Who knows? We'll get a rerun. But in actuality terms for FGO, you know, we had a great run in FGO. I believe we were following my plotting for what I did last year to the T. We had some good moments this year. We had, of course, Azek, the savior for the anniversary. We had Sailor Medusa. We got the big ass summer update with the Knights of the Round Table, or the Fairy Knights, I should say, at least. And then we had the introduction of the Beast class, and we had Lost Larva and Tiamat. I had a good time with Durga and Maid, Alter. There's been some good moments in the FGO sphere, and man, shoot, like talking about FGO, I've been hearing all the hubbub in the JP side of FGO and how it's like ending, I guess. So that's I didn't look into too deep into that, because, you know, we're gonna get there eventually. One of these days we will finish the fight and the story. One of these days I just gotta catch up. I also technically was playing off stream myself. You know, it's unfortunate that this game is still stuck in for mobile, no PC client or who knows. But yeah, I was playing and reading Lost Belt 6 myself. I remember posting about my progress in the Discord, and it's been a good time. I haven't finished it, unfortunately, because I think when I was like in the midst of reading Lost Belt 6, another big event happened for Star Rail and NIKKE, and I'm just like, hold up, I gotta attend to this real quick. And I was like, yeah. But, you know, FGO still lives on in my heart as one of the first freaking gacha game that got me into this downward rabbit hole. So, you know, we're gonna see it through the end. Next up on the games list, we have here most memorable Girls Frontline 2 moment. Now, unfortunately, most of the streams I do for Girls Frontline 2 is mostly just me pulling for shit and admiring assets and animation for the characters. But does one stand out for me this year? This might be a recency thing, But like, well, actually, no, it was like the one time when the fake out happened on stream. That was pretty cool. And then, but one of the most memorable moments for me, it's a recency thing, right? But it was me editing like the starting stream bit for the Girls Frontline 2 streams. So I would like, get the in-game animations for the characters and just kind of like throw them all together in a movie editor and put the soundtrack from the Lena event on there, and then like just put stream starting, and that's how it was created. But honestly, it's such a badass sequence that I really enjoyed making it. So that's my memorable Girls Frontline 2 moment, and it's not even in the game. It's just me like editing some things for future Girls Frontline 2 streams. So there's that. Lastly, we have most memorable Wuthering Waves moment. Now, unfortunately, I'm not caught up in the waves. One of my family members, my uncles, he's a huge Wuthering Waves guy. He's all caught up. He's got all the waifus and everything. He's in it, bro. This is his game. And he's asking me all the time, like, when are you gonna do some more Wuthering Waves stuff? And I was like, damn, I want to eventually. It's just, with big open world games, they're gonna take so much time. Look at Genshin, and like, yeah, I just gotta find some time, man. But definitely, like, this is that one time, oh my gosh, I was at during the Chisa pulls when I was trying to, like, okay guys, I have the whole day off. We're gonna pull Chisa, and then we're gonna grind the story. We're gonna start it's called Septimont, right? We're gonna do that, and then like 10 minutes in the stream, the freaking internet outage in my area, and then I only find this out because I'm talking to myself for like 6+ minutes or so. I forget exactly how long. And then I'm just like, like, it's just so quiet. Like, no one's chatting and stuff. And then I look at my stream thing. And, oh no, not even the stream thing. The whole, like, all the internet died from my PC and only my phone was working. So then that's how I found out. I was like, oh, freaking internet outage happened, and then my stream like ended like minutes ago. Oh my gosh, that was such a funny ass moment. That was so stupid, but also it's just like, wow guys, thanks universe. Like, I had a whole off day today for me to be able to just sit down and play some games, and then you decide to internet outage me. Like, wow, thank you game, or thanks life. But yeah, aside from that, I guess the only other big thing we did in Wuthering Waves this year would be the Cartethia arc. Kind of finished Rescuta-esque, but then we finished the Cartethia arc, and then we didn't start Septimont. But that was a pretty solid moment, I must admit. The whole Cartethia arc, and then the boss battle with Fleur de Lis, it was a pretty hype moment. Like, it's one of my top moments in Wuthering. Is definitely the whole Shorekeeper arc, and then that arc with Fleur de Lis and them. It's pretty good, and I will definitely come back some more. Subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified when we catch up on Wuthering Waves. It's gonna be a good time. We're gonna have a whole day to ourselves with no internet outages or something. Knock on wood. But yeah, we'll come back to the waves, guys. The waves will be calling us for sure. But with that, I believe that's everything on my list for now. Wow, we've done it, guys. We've gone through my whole list. There could be some more things I could have thought up some more, but honestly went through quite a lot, and it was a good time kind of looking back and looking at different aspects in terms of like my anime, my games, some moments, some surprises, my YouTube art creative side, and gaming, visual novels, all that stuff, books, mangas, live action stuff. It's been great, yeah. So I don't know if you guys were reflecting alongside and thinking about these questions for your own perspective, but yeah guys, I think that'll be it for this little talk we're having right now. Man, as I say this, we have like T-minus few days left until 2026, but what can I say, guys? This year it's been good. It's been good. What can I say? It's been a good year. I look back and look at all the things that I've done and realize that, wow, that was this year. And to see the amount of stuff we've done and I've done and created this year, it's been a great time, and I hope you all stick around for next year. So once again, thank you all for watching or listening. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe, and hit the bell so you're notified for any future uploads or streams. And we have a lot of things on our to-do list, honestly, for 2026. So yeah guys, thank you all so much. I will see you all maybe tomorrow in 2026. This might be the last thing I upload. Probably will be. Honestly, I'll probably just schedule it. So yeah, guys, let me know if you guys reflected on these categories or questions as well. Let me know if you guys have any memorable moments for yourselves in 2025, whether it be like, you know, live action stuff, movies, anime, game, manga, gaming, all that stuff. Let me know what your memorable moments were in 2025. And yeah, see you tomorrow in 2026. Domotaku out. Peace.